Campbell Brown.
No bias, no bull.
CNN weeknights, 8 Eastern.
Last night we told you that we were going to be profiling the villains of this crisis, those that we think belong in our rogues gallery. But what we're discovering, the more we learn about AIG, and the more willing we are to take a step back and look at sort of the big picture here, it becomes harder and harder to pinpoint exactly where we should be directing our anger. But that has not stopped Washington or the late-night comedians from unleashing as they try to tap into all that populist outrage. Listen.
It's hard to understand how derivative traders at AIG warranted any bonuses, much less $165 million in extra pay. I mean, how do they justify this outrage to the taxpayers who are keeping the company afloat?
This is disgraceful. This is unacceptable.
You know what AIG stands for, that I know? Adventures in Greed.
Our founding fathers knew that when the rights of the people get trampled, we must become a torch and pitchfork wielding mob, empty of all thought, an injured, vengeful animal, lashing out blindly in shapes and colors. Let's go get AIG!
Now, you would expect Stephen Colbert to be over the top, but Iowa's Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, listen to this.
I would suggest the first thing that would make me feel a little bit better towards them if they'd follow the Japanese example and come before the American people and take that deep bow and say, I'm sorry, and then either do one of two things, resign or go commit suicide. And in the case of the Japanese, they usually commit suicide before they make any apology.
Without question, our politicians are right on one point. There are plenty of people at AIG who are plenty deserving of all the outrage, especially when we hear, as we did today, that those, quote, retention bonuses, so necessary, they told us, to keep the best and brightest from jumping ship, were actually given to a lot of people who've already flown the coop. But it's the disingenuousness on top of the economic calamity. Enough already. The disingenuousness is by no means limited to AIG and has been pointed out time and time again today. AIG went public more than a year ago with its plans to give out these bonuses. And all the politicians and White House officials doing the screaming and yelling either did know that or should have known that. Guys, get it together, please. We don't need you to feel our pain. We need you to fix this problem, minus the histrionics. Leave that to cable news. Instead, how about you focus on what you're going to do when it is time to write AIG yet another check?